Every other day in our world brings out another crazy creature. Horrifyingly huge, monstrously fearful, or simply astonishing. Here are the unbelievable animal moments caught on camera that no one would have seen otherwise. Top jaw missing. This is the craziest injury an animal could endure, but alligators, being the furious animals as they are, often become the reason for their own misery. The man filmed this alligator in the wilderness of Florida when he spotted that it was missing a big chunk of its upper jaw. And even though the loss of the upper jaw might become a difficulty in trapping the prey, the gator looked surprisingly healthy. Goblin shark. Now this monster is terrifying. Anything that ever ended up in those jaws had the most gruesome death on planet. This is a goblin shark, and what could be uglier than the goblin shark? A dead goblin shark. This one was caught by the fishermen near the Atlantic Ocean. They informed the marine experts, and even they were baffled because this one was caught right on the surface of the water and was already expired. They are identified from their elongated jaws and are considered a rare sight because they usually live more than 1,500 meters deep in water. Venezuelan poodle moth. Spider legs, wings of a butterfly, and a face resembling a bat. What was this creature? Nobody seems to know, as it was caught only once in the Venezuela National Park of Brazil, and due to its rarity, the creature was declared yet to be identified, therefore was given the name of the Venezuelan poodle moth. But some consider it an already existing species of moth, which is one of the very few favorite meals of bats. Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Pod of stranded dolphins. A relaxing day on the beach was converted to a daring rescue mission day when about 30 dolphins washed up on the coast of Arraial do Cabo. It happened due to the extreme ocean current flows, which brought the dolphins to the shore, and they were unable to go back. The dolphins were squeaking in distress, which ushered the beachgoers to save them. They made pairs and groups to help the marine animals. Thankfully, all of them were rescued and dragged back to the deep waters. Baby red crab. Christmas Island has turned red because millions of red crabs are marching back towards the land. Aren't they cute? I never knew that such little creatures could hold so much of cuteness, to be honest. So what happens is that the male crabs mate with the females with a strategy so that they would get enough time to produce and develop their eggs in low tide. The eggs hatch and the babies return to the land, continuously hoping to not get eaten by the deadly predators and wishing to survive the high tides. They finally return to the island, only to get eaten by their mothers? Wolffish. You never want to reel in a wolffish. They won't try to get away from you. They are the ones that will come at you.
I'm telling you. Look at that. Oh.
Look how it cut open the can filled with drink in just a blink. And not just that, it even tried to bite the fisherman holding it. With its sharp teeth coming out of its mouth, the fish is ready to bite anything which comes near it. And by anything, I really do mean anything. Be it a lobster or a mouse, it only takes a single bite for this fish. Chinese dragon. When one of the farmers caught an eerie carcass of a giant dragon in its field, it garnered the attention of the locals, as many of them rushed to see the dragon bones, which were, according to the villager, discovered once in a millennium. The skeleton had a long spine, 2 arms, and a large skull which kind of looked like a cow. But when the video was uploaded, it instantly went viral, and therefore started the debate between them, as many claimed it to be some kind of a prank, while others believed it to be real. Later, it was confirmed to have been an elaborate prank. Sea worm. A slimy worm? A baby eel? What is it? A boy caught this weird animal while he was out fishing, and when he uploaded the video asking about the creature, The comment section flooded with lots of people baffled to see the slimy worm, but it was actually a bloodworm, which was surprisingly long from its unusual size. They are commonly found in America, live on ponds and freshwater streams, and are widely used as bait for fish. And even though they look harmless, their venom could cause severe allergic reactions in horses, but would feel like a bee sting to humans.
Last year, I made $403,919 using e-farming.
Swimming tadpoles. What's better than swimming alone? Swimming with tadpoles, and not just one, but with hundreds of them. This camera caught this incredible moment of tadpoles swimming with a diver. Tadpoles are the larval stage of amphibians, and though they are good swimmers right now, they will eventually forget how to swim once they are older and move to land. But swimming with them even at this stage is hard because these tadpoles are too small and they will literally scatter the moment they sense danger. Flying mammal. Before I tell you about the animal, just listen to the squeaky sound it's making. It was caught in a small village in Malaysia, and the sound was not the only scary thing this animal could do. While the man was recording the bat-like creature, it started jumping and gliding all over his lawn. But there were more surprises to come, as it was not a bat, but a colugo. Though they act like sugar gliders, they're a bit different from them. And now you know why. Because unlike the sugar gliders, they are quite good at swimming. Spider attack. When a man spotted this little hairy blob almost buried in sand, he thought of it as a rat which was sleeping because of the cold weather. The man poked the creepy creature, but things didn't turn out as he was expecting. Just when the stick touched the hairy animal, lots of spiders crawled out of it. And when later on, the cameraman tried to touch the creature with its bare hands, a small part of it fell to the ground. Well, these were daddy longlegs. They are harmless to humans, but look pretty scary when we watch it. Gooseneck barnacles. What on earth is this alien thing? Turns out, this creature is one of the very few parasites that are edible, and even though they don't bite like their relatives, and humans can eat them without any difficulty, gooseneck barnacles are of no help to the marine animals. They like to cling to the strong surfaces, and therefore often climb on the back of marine animals, and can cause them to be buried under their weight of hundreds of pounds. Just like this turtle, who was literally struggling to take a step further due to its heavily burdened back. Coconut crab. This is the world's most dangerous crab, native to the islands across the Indo-Pacific Ocean. Its name is enough to scare off prey. Okay, not just the name, but the pincers. As the coconut crab has got the deadliest pincers with the same force as a lion's bite. They will hunt down a bird, will break a human bone, and don't even leave their own skin, because even it will be their meal once they've shed it. But thankfully, these monsters will not attack people until provoked. Moray eels. The fish which is designed specifically for fighting anything and everything. Just take a look at its menacing look. It's like it's its way of saying, I'ma catch y'all and eat y'all. While its sharp white teeth help her to catch on a prey, their backward position keeps forcing the prey inside the mouth and doesn't give it the slightest chance to escape. Small marine fish are no problem for the moray eels, as they can easily get at the white-tipped shark. And that's not it. Their victims don't really stand a chance when they reveal their secret weapon, a second jaw, which is used to reel in the prey caught by the first jaw. Crab migration. Divers from Australia anxiously wait for this sight as winter comes. Every year, during the months of April to June, spider crabs take their annual migration from shallow to deep water, sometimes covering a distance of almost 100 miles in total. Once they've started the march, everything that will stand in their way is considered food. They will scavenge anything which they might find, not even sparing the shells of their fellows. The empty sandy bottom is soon to be converted into the crabland, as hundreds of them will fill up the entire space with their orange bodies. Comb jelly. The beachgoers in California were shocked when they saw the whole beach covered with comb jellyfish. Not just a few. There were hundreds of such fish washed ashore, which even left the marine scientists stunned. Comb jellies are a kind of glowing fish, as they have the ability to generate light coming from the cells known as photophores. Because it was almost impossible for the onlookers to see these fish glowing in daylight, some of them went home and came back again to catch just a glimpse of these fish glowing in the dark. Tentacled creature. While discovering the depths of the Pacific, marine biologists were shocked when they saw a weird creature in the deep ocean. Though it had the tentacles of an octopus, which can spread over 40 centimeters, it was a sea pen. When it was standing, it looks like the quill pens, therefore given the name of a sea pen. But despite the resemblance, it was still a never-surveyed-before creature, and was said to be the first one of its kind. They can live up to a century, and because of no source of light in the depths, the sea pens would glow when they require it. Singing bird. A bird which can mimic the sounds of other birds? This has to be the lyrebird, found in the moist forest of South Australia. Though the bird is commonly known as the mud-dwelling species, it roosts on trees at night. But the thing which makes it distinct from the others is that it can sing, and not just in its own voice. It can mimic almost 20 different species of birds. But that's not all from its side. The bird will literally mimic whatever it hears. Don't believe me? Listen for yourself. A camera shutter, car alarm, and whatnot. Frigate bird. These birds have got the weirdest yet most entertaining mating ritual among all the others. They literally drum on their throats to attract the mate. I mean, what's creepier than this? Male frigates have a bright red pouch on their throats, which is used as an alluring tool by them. To mate with females, they will inflate their pouches like a balloon, and then drum on their inflated throats with their bills to mate with a female. It's like a competition going on between the males, and the bloated throats can sometimes become a hurdle for these birds, as their rival males will sometimes strike them with their sharp beaks. Squeezing octopus. As if being a giant octopus stranded on a boat was not enough to terrify the anglers, this one did a shocking stunt when it squeezed through the tiny hole in the boat. At first, they thought it was stuck, but when it kept sliding, they realized that it was actually passing through the hole. But how is he able to do it? Octopuses are boneless, which gives them the flexibility to fit through almost anything. The only thing which is firm in their body is their beak, which works like an entry ticket for them. Because if the beak fits, everything else can too. Even if it's just an inch wide, it won't be a problem. Umbrella bird. A camera caught this incredible moment of a long-wattled bird sitting over a tree branch. The long-wattled bird is given the name of an umbrella bird because of its feather-like hair that hangs from over its bill to the head of the bird, almost covering half of its eyes. The lush, undisturbed forests of Colombia are considered home for these birds. Though the long wattles are considered to be the unique quality of these birds, it is relatively short in females and even absent in some of them. Therefore, the males use it to attract their mates. Scavenger storks. These are the marabou stork birds, and that's how they feed themselves. Stork birds are long-legged, long-necked, bare-throat sac birds, which are often referred to as the scavenger birds, because of their nature of eating anything that comes into their sight, mostly carcasses. But not all the time, as these birds will come to the waters in South Africa to feed on the tightly packed fish due to the low water level. And because there's less probability of every bird getting what it wants, they will scavenge the food from the other birds, especially pelicans and the yellow-billed birds that follow the lead of storks.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop prices automatically. I can show you how, but I can't do it for you. People are saving real money doing this. 160 million in the last.
Rhino snake. Just like the rhinos, the snake can cause no harm even if it's provoked, because it's a non-venomous snake. Its bite is completely harmless. But don't blame me if you have a slight allergic reaction, as even the most harmless creature can be threatening to some of us. Another trait which makes it the celebrity among the snakes is the tiny horn over its mouth, the reason why it's given the name of a rhino. Some even call it the unicorn of the snake world. Slimy mystery. The thing you're looking at is supposed to be a snail, because it has the interior shell just like a snail, but lacks the external one. And not just that, the species is given the name of a sea hare, because the pointed tentacles on its head resemble with the land hare. They are truly the wonder of nature, as these tiny sea hares can grow up from being just the size of a finger to 16 inches long, and can weigh up to 35 pounds. But even the smallest one from the sea is not harmless, as they release ink in their defense when disturbed, which contains highly acidic components and can be toxic for humans. Master of disguise. This is the cuttlefish, a fish which can blend into anything, and literally anything. Therefore, it's hard to spot them under the ocean, because as I've said earlier, they are the masters in hiding themselves. Basically, these fish contain millions of chromatophores, which is a cell that produces color, from which most are pigment-containing cells, which can be interacted and expanded to produce changes in the skin tone, which eventually makes them pro in camouflaging, which they then use to ambush their prey and also hide from their predators. Look how the fish is adapting the pattern of a chess floor. It's just incredible! Gingerbread Man. A man came across a bizarre human-like creature washed up on the beach in China. While many of the onlookers were terrified by just looking at it, this man decided to step forward and held the creature in his hands. But it was when he realized that the creature, which he was assuming to be dead, was actually alive as it started moving its hands and feet. Could it be a sea alien or some kind of mutated starfish, which was caught in the hands of the man? Let me know what you think. Blue-tongue lizard. When this man could not figure out how his pet snails were disappearing, he decided to go and look in their hutch to find out the reason. And there it was, hiding under the sugarcane mulch, laying down was the answer. It was a blue-tongued lizard. They usually live in open countries with lots of ground covered in leaf litter. But just like the other lizards, their skin does not produce any heat. Therefore, they like to spend their night resting under logs or rocks. These lizards have a unique colored tongue, and they know about it, so they use it along with their large heads to scare off their predators and also to terrorize their prey. A farmer was out doing his routine field work when he spotted a half-buried creature in the mud, and when he started cleaning the mud off of it, he was shocked to see that it was an alligator buried under the soil, or at least what he thought of it, because the reality was even more baffling. As we all know, alligators and gars are said to be one of the oldest animals, yet this was something even more ancient than them, a gharial. It's said to be millions of years old and has not evolved ever since, but unfortunately, it's at the brink of extinction, which made its sudden discovery from the farmer's land so rare. Clam fountain. This is a razor clam, an animal which buries itself. And not just that, clams are fast hiders. Using the only foot they have, they can dig up a centimeter-long burrow in just 1 second. And even the smallest one, just the size of a hand, can dig itself a 70-centimeter deep burrow. While they are digging, clams will gradually drag their shells into the burrows, making them almost invisible. Now, I know it's going to be a bit creepy to watch, but when they're halfway through their destination, comes the most interesting part, as it will release the sand and waste through a tiny hole in their body. Bird attack. A bird that can eat a whole tarantula. That too in just one sitting. A bird was caught eating the giant tarantula along the shore while it was molting, which is basically a procedure in which the spider changes its skin, and it's also the time when they are most vulnerable and cannot attack back, so it's easy to prey on them. Therefore, spider-eating birds keep waiting for this moment, and when it feels right, they attack and feast on the exposed tarantula. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe for more such videos. See you soon!